There's a university at the tip of Africa that's right at the top of its game. It's a place with a proud history and legacy, pulled upwards by a future that will not be tamed.
It brims over with powerful ideas that again and again lead to potent action and real change. Since when? 6 decades long, it's been home to groundbreakers, change makers, planet shakers, and it's still going strong.
It's the home of forward-thinking higher learning, homegrown pride and a story still unfurling, independent thought which sparks innovation, mindful global citizens and their perpetual liberation.
Today, this is my home, my community, my springboard, my zone, like iron sharpening iron. Here, my potential is mined, my mind is refined, and my future redefined.
It's our time to learn from our past and our histories, to be the leaders of tomorrow's victories.
It's our time to stand up and step into our light.
To rise with Africa and all the world by our side. There's a university at the tip of Africa that's right at the top of its game. It's a place with a proud history and legacy, pulled upwards by a future that will not be tamed.
It brims over with powerful ideas that again and again lead to potent action and real change. Since when? 6 decades long, it's been home to groundbreakers, change makers, planet shakers, and it's still going strong.
It's the home of forward-thinking higher learning, homegrown pride and a story still unfurling, independent thought which sparks innovation, mindful global citizens and their perpetual liberation.
Today, this is my home, my community, my springboard, my zone, like iron sharpening iron. Here, my potential is mined, my mind is refined, and my future redefined.
It's our time to learn from our past and our histories, to be the leaders of tomorrow's victories.
It's our time to stand up and step into our light.
To rise with Africa and all the world by our side. There's a university at the tip of Africa that's right at the top of its game. It's a place with a proud history and legacy, pulled upwards by a future that will not be tamed.
It brims over with powerful ideas that again and again lead to potent action and real change. Since when? 6 decades long, it's been home to groundbreakers, change makers, planet shakers, and it's still going strong.
It's the home of forward-thinking higher learning, homegrown pride and a story still unfurling, independent thought which sparks innovation, mindful global citizens and their perpetual liberation.
Today, this is my home, my community, my springboard, my zone, like iron sharpening iron. Here, my potential is mined, my mind is refined, and my future redefined.
It's our time to learn from our past and our histories, to be the leaders of tomorrow's victories.
It's our time to stand up and step into our light.
To rise with Africa and all the world by our side. There's a university at the tip of Africa that's right at the top of its game. It's a place with a proud history and legacy, pulled upwards by a future that will not be tamed.
It brims over with powerful ideas that again and again lead to potent action and real change. Since when? 6 decades long, it's been home to groundbreakers, change makers, planet shakers, and it's still going strong.
It's the home of forward-thinking higher learning, homegrown pride and a story still unfurling, independent thought which sparks innovation, mindful global citizens and their perpetual liberation.
Today, this is my home, my community, my springboard, my zone, like iron sharpening iron. Here, my potential is mined, my mind is refined, and my future redefined.
It's our time to learn from our past and our histories, to be the leaders of tomorrow's victories.
It's our time to stand up and step into our light.
To rise with Africa and all the world by our side.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please?
Ceremonies. It's been a long 2 years, Chancellor, and we welcome you back this morning. Our guests of honor, the graduates, their parents and their loved ones, the university executive and deans, members of council in attendance, UWC colleagues from the academic, the administrative and the support sectors, all guests, good morning and welcome to March 2022 graduation ceremonies at the University of the Western Cape. In particular, welcome to the 9th ceremony of this week. On Monday morning when we had our first graduation, I could simply say, wow. 9 ceremonies later, I still have the wow feeling, because this is very special. Our first graduation ceremony after 2 years of lockdown. What a joyous moment for me, what an unbelievable feeling to once again stand in front of a graduating class. In the depths of our despair over the last 2 years, we have prayed and we have hoped to know this moment again, to experience this feeling again. Chancellor, I believe that on a day like today, our graduates sitting here should feel like they've just reached the top of a very steep mountain. The graduates of this week are indeed a very special group. We hope that these graduation ceremonies will usher in the new normal at the University of the Western Cape. You graduates are the first to have the honor of graduating after lockdown and graduating in person. It's been a tough few years, and I'm very appreciative of the many sacrifices that you and your loved ones have had to make to ensure that you are indeed sitting here today. In this regard, I would like to acknowledge your parents, your guardians, your loved ones. Parents, guardians, and loved ones, I salute your dedication and your support to your charges. You know that even during normal times, that support was invaluable. Given the consequences of the pandemic and the impact on learning and teaching, your support, parents, your love carried them to this moment. They are graduating today, but you share in their achievements. The pandemic took us all by surprise. In March 2022, we had just started the academic year, and the next moment, we were all heading home under severe lockdown conditions. Graduates, you've had to make many adjustments to your academic routines. There were no in-person lectures. You had to rely only on yourself. And you had to rely on yourself far more than before to keep going and to work with the same discipline that might have come far more natural if things had been the same as before. I also salute you for the strength and endurance that you have shown. Because while you might have had the support of your loved ones, you and you alone had to put in the effort and make the difficult choices to finish this journey. Today you are reaping the reward of your dedication and endurance. After the past 2 years, we must look forward to the future with a deep sense of appreciation of what we have overcome and what lies behind us. I never get tired of saying this, but I'm deeply proud of this university, of its staff, its lecturers, who rapidly had to adapt to a new way of doing things. And for a university, which is one of the oldest institutions in the world, and for a university to change, and to change so rapidly, is unheard of. There were many staff that you as students had no contact with, but these staff worked tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure that we are able to offer an academic program, albeit remotely. It is times like these, times of challenges, times of hardship, that brings out the best in people. And I know that that is the UWC way. Graduates, it's been my custom to have a theme for every graduation. Themes that I hope would resonate with you being a student at UWC, but also citizens of our country and citizens of the world. It seems so appropriate after all the losses we have suffered. In South Africa, there were more than 100,000 deaths as a result of the pandemic, and worldwide, over 6 million deaths. For me, it therefore felt very appropriate that we theme this week's graduation ceremonies as in memoriam graduation. In memoriam comes from the Latin, and it literally means in memory of. So today, as we celebrate, and we must celebrate your achievements, but as we do so, let us pause and silently remember our colleagues, our students, our family and our friends, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world that have regrettably succumbed to the pandemic and to other illnesses. Today we celebrate, but we also grieve for them. God asks us not to grieve for the departed because they have returned to his fold. But today we grieve, and we ask God, as the poet Tennyson did, to forgive us our grief. Tennyson writes, in speaking to God, he writes, "Forgive my grief for one removed, thy creature whom I found so fair. I trust he lives in thee, and there I find him worthier to be loved." And so today we grieve, we pause, and we remember firstly our former Chancellor, Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu, whom we lost in December last year. Graduates, you, as you sit there, I'm sure there are many of you that have suffered similar losses. So take a moment to think about those that you have personally lost and remember them. Today we also remember 3 of our former students and 1 current student who passed away in a horrific crash near Robertson in December of last year. They were Angelique and Shante Kluter, Janice Gordon, and Janice Peters. So sad. Shante would have graduated yesterday with a Bachelor of Administration. Her mother accepted the degree on her behalf. Chancellor, it was moving when this brave lady, not even 3 months after losing 2 of her daughters, it was so moving when she struggled with her grief and her tears, but she walked the steps on this stage to accept her daughter's degree certificate. I've never been prouder of UWC students than at that moment. As one, they rose and carried this grieving mother across the stage. They showed the values that we have inculcated in them, the value of compassion. I feel a further sense of deep sadness because there is someone who should be here today but who cannot be here today. Her name is Jessie Hess, and she would also have graduated this year if her life had not been cruelly ended. You know Jessie. In 2019, when we held a memorial for Jessie, you packed the main hall to pay tribute to her. I have never seen the main hall hold so many students as on that day. Jessie, whose smile continues to shine out of the many pictures published after her death. She was an 18-year-old first-year theology student at UWC. She and her grandfather, Mr. Chris Lategan, was violently killed in his home in 2019. The two men who were arrested for the crime is currently standing trial. So today, graduates, as we celebrate your success, I believe it is also important for us to commit and to recommit ourselves to gender-based violence. Not only for Jessie's sake, but for the sake of all the other women in our country and elsewhere whose humanity is denigrated and stripped away through the actions of brutal men. Today we commit and we recommit because gender-based violence is relentless, it is unjust, and it needs to stop. And we all have our part to play in putting an end to it. It starts with raising our children to believe that men and women are no different when it comes to expecting respect and dignity. It starts with not turning a blind eye or a deaf ear when you hear threatening words or threatening behavior. It starts with calling out those who believe they have the right to diminish women by putting our foot down and saying it will not be allowed. It is not allowed by our law, nor is it allowed by our morality. Yesterday, driving to campus, I heard this phrase on the radio that resonated with me because it was the theme of my graduation address. The phrase is, men's silence condones women's violence. If we as men do not speak up, we are saying that violence against women is okay, and it is not okay. The past 2 years have taught us many lessons, that we are resilient, that we are able to overcome challenges that we've never had to face before. But there's an important lesson that we should also learn from the past 2 years. And that lesson is that we can change the future. You sitting here today is part of that change. But graduates, you also have the ability to change the future. You can help create a future where women are not only safe, but where they are afforded the equal place in society that our Constitution promises them. Be the change in creating the world you wish to see, a safe world, an equal world, and a world that will never allow another Jessie to be robbed, to be killed of her life, or to be hurt. I know that you, as a UWC student, are more than capable of doing this because you carry the pride, the hope, and the determination of UWC with you. As you leave this place today, be the great ambassadors that we know you can be. And remember, we are proud of you and your achievements. It is now your turn to make us proud. Go out into the world and conquer it in the name of UWC. I thank you. An item in song will be rendered by Tyrone Manuel.
Carum io ben credim almen, senza di te languisce il cor. Caro mio ben, senza di te languisce il cor. Il tuo fedel sospiro ignor, cessa crudel tanto rigor, cessa crudel tanto rigor, tanto rigor. Caro mio ben, credimi almen, senza di te languisce il cor. Caro mio ben, credimi almen, senza di te languisce il cor.
By authority vested in me, I shall now admit the candidates who are presented to me and the candidates who were not able to attend this ceremony for degrees, diplomas, and certificates in the university.
Chancellor, the candidate Vincent Anzika will now be introduced to you by Professor Florence.
Vincent Anzika's thesis is titled Exploring a Biopsychospiritual Intervention for Painful Diabetic Neuropathy. The study explored beliefs as coping strategies for painful diabetic neuropathy, PDN, the relationship between depression, anxiety, and PDN, and address the efficacy of the intervention of cognitive behavioral therapy, hypnotherapy, and treatment as usual, compared to treatment as usual only. Mr. Adzika's study concludes that patients use beliefs as coping strategies for PDN, and that there is a significant relationship between depression, anxiety, quality of life, and PDN. There was also a significant improvement after the intervention of the different therapies for PDN. The findings of the study will provide evidence for optimizing the current and future care of PDN patients as it attempts to fill the gap in psychomedical interventions and research in pain.
Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Vincent Adzika. Chancellor Marlon Cosette, the candidate Marlon Cosette will now be introduced to you by his supervisor, Professor Young.
Marlon Cosette's thesis title is Stress in the South African Navy, Piloting and Evaluating the Validity and Reliability of a Developed Therapeutic Recreation Stress, Leisure and Appraisal Tool. Cosette's thesis focused on validating the Therapeutic Recreation Stress, Leisure Appraisal Tool, measuring stress in the South African Navy. Naval staff have to endure demanding conditions at sea that causes stress while being expected to sustain force readiness. Therefore, his study is unique in that no standardized appraisal or recreational therapy tool exists to measure stress and leisure behavior in the African or South African military context. His study aimed to pilot and evaluate the validity and reliability of the tool in an African context. Content evidence for the instrument was gathered through a pilot study assessing how military members understood and related to the instrument's items and format. Iterative exploratory factor analysis were used to select and reassign the items and scales showing significant variable relationships, and as a result, confirmed the validity and reliability of the tool.
Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Marlon Cosette. Chancellor, the candidate Zarina Daris will now be introduced to you by Professor Suka, a supervisor.
The title of the thesis of Zarina Daris is The Development of a Model to Enhance Entrepreneurial Skills of Women with Acquired Brain Injury. Acquired brain injury is a major public health concern as the long-term effects thereof can be economically challenging and can impact human beings in different ways. The study aimed to design a model to enhance entrepreneurial skills in women with ABI. The methodology included the use of a cross-sectional survey, a qualitative study, a scoping review, and lastly, a Delphi study. The return to work rate showed that 61.2% of the study participants successfully returned to work post-ABI. While 86.4% of the study participants experienced limitations in daily occupations, more than half, 57.1%, did not receive any form of vocational rehabilitation. The outcome of the study was the development of the entrepreneurial skills empowerment model, which, according to experts, is a needed model to improve occupational participation and economic empowerment for women with ABI.
Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Zarina Daris. Chancellor, the candidate Enyinyanya Etiaba will now be introduced to you by Supervisor Professor Lehman.
Dr. Etiaba's thesis is entitled Subnational Implementation of National Level Health Policies, a case study of the maternal, neonatal, and child health policy in Nigeria. The thesis examines the role of subnational levels of government, states in Nigeria, in the implementation of maternal and child health policy in Nigeria. The study found that successful policy implementation required close collaboration across all levels of government. However, constitutional design and how political and decision-making power are distributed undermine such collaboration and the success of important health policies. Dr. Etiaba makes a range of recommendations to improve governance and systems design for better policy outcomes.
Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Enyinyamba Etiaba. Chancellor, the candidate Tembelihle Gondu will now be introduced to you by her co-supervisor, Professor Young.
Development of a mental skills training programs for competitive collegiate netball players in tertiary institutions in Zimbabwe. Mental skills are critical to the development of a positive mindset in the athlete in order to develop the ability to concentrate more, focus attention, manage arousal, develop self-esteem, and thereby enhance self-confidence in competitive sport. This was an exploratory study to investigate how well Zimbabwean intercollegiate netball players were prepared mentally and how this was handled during their participation in intercollegiate games. The purpose was to develop an appropriate mental skills training program for netball players in tertiary institutions in Zimbabwe. Findings of the study revealed that effectiveness of mental skills depends on their utilization. The study offered new insights into netball mental skills training programs in Zimbabwe and facilitated the integration of mental skills training in the coaching program at tertiary level.
Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Tembelihle Gondu. Chancellor, the candidate Danelle Hess will now be introduced to you by her supervisor, Professor Franz.
The title of Ms. Hess's thesis is Development of Design Principles to Guide the Development of Clinical Reasoning in Physiotherapy Education. The field of clinical practice has been described as a swampy lowland of confusing situations that are incapable of technical solution, and clinical reasoning as a slippery concept that defies simple definition. In this study, Ms. Hess chose to work in the swampy lowlands of uncomfortable but crucially important problems that influence clinical practice throughout the world. Her project took an unusual approach in an established and well-researched field, providing a unique perspective on teaching and learning practices. Her ambitious design, both in scope and depth, led to the development of a set of principles that can be used to guide the development of clinical reasoning in undergraduate health professional students. These findings have the potential to change how health professions educators think about the core of professional education and could have far-reaching implications for those who adopt them.
Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Danelle Hess. Chancellor, the candidate, Livona Johnson, will now be introduced to you by her supervisor, Professor Franz.
The title of Ms. Johnson's thesis was Empowering Community Health Workers to Improve Their Health Behaviors Using a Self-Management Approach. Community health workers are key frontline workers who have been specifically appointed as links between the professional health force and the communities to act as change agents and advocate for improved health behaviors. This cadre requires skill sets that will empower them to become successful managers of their own holistic well-being before they can effectively transfer this knowledge to the communities that they serve. Therefore, the overall aim of this current study was to adapt, implement, and evaluate the effects of a self-management program for CHWs to improve their own health behaviors and ultimately influence the communities that they serve. This study highlighted that self-management is a viable strategy as an integral part of training on the healthcare platform, as it produces both immediate and long-term significant results and should be considered as an avenue to reduce the burden of disease and reach the health goals. Congratulations.
Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Livona Johnson. Chancellor, the candidate Khadija Khan will now be introduced to you by Professor Florence, one of her supervisors.
Khadija Khan's thesis was titled Experiences of Interpersonal Relationships, Stress and Coping Amongst Adolescents Who Report Substance Use. The study aimed to explore experiences of interpersonal relationships, stress and coping, in order to understand substance use patterns and symptom development of depression and anxiety amongst adolescents who report to use substances in 3 low-income communities across South Africa. The findings of the study provided an in-depth understanding of the contributory factors of adolescent substance use onset. The study offers an understanding of the drivers of substance use and abuse amongst the key population group. These insights can inform child and adolescent policy development at a local level, Government departments could potentially use the findings of the study to improve the environmental barriers that young individuals in low-resource settings face on a daily basis.
Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Khadija Khan. Chancellor, the candidate Linda Schurer will now be introduced to you by Professor Wahi, her supervisor.
Dr. Schurer's title of her thesis is The Development of an Anti-Substance Abuse Initiatives for High Schools in the Capricorn District, Polokwane. Substance abuse amongst adolescents is a public health concern globally. There are numerous public health initiatives in South Africa, which includes policies to address the many health and social challenges amongst adolescents. An example of such a policy is the revised Integrated School Health Policy of 2012. It is worrying to note that there is little change in the prevalence of substance abuse among school-going children, questioning what is on paper and actual implementation for optimal health among learners. Linda Schurer's PhD study focused on the development of an anti-substance abuse initiatives in high schools in Limpopo province, using empirical findings and theory to guide its development. The study concluded that the problem is embedded in multiple levels of influence, which cannot only be addressed by schools, but requires a robust, integrated approach by all sectors. Thank you.
Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Linda Schurer. Chancellor, the candidate Eric Seguja will now be introduced to you by Professor Lehman.
Eric Seguja's thesis is entitled Risk Perception of Stillbirths Among Women of Reproductive Age and Current Policy Response in Uganda, a case of Mukono and Buikwe districts. The study explored stillbirth challenges in Uganda and examined how global norm promotion, together with financial and technical support, converged around stillbirth reduction campaigns to elevate national level prioritization. The findings revealed that national level preparedness aligned well with promoted global strategies. The study argues that inherent service delivery bottlenecks shaped subnational level response, with available resources guiding which policy aspects to prioritize. The study highlights that beside efforts triggered by global campaigns, there were ongoing community efforts to support women experiencing stillbirths. The case of stillbirth reduction in Uganda can be used to understand the role of transnational influences, the role that transnational influences can play in triggering national level responses to public health challenges.
Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Eric Seguja. Chancellor, the candidate Lindy van der Berg will now be introduced to you by Professor Daniels, her supervisor.
Lindy van der Berg's thesis title was Advisory Framework to Inform the Development of a Microcurriculum for a New Bachelor of Nursing degree program offered at a university in the Western Cape. A new Bachelor of Nursing program commenced in South Africa in 2019 based on Government Gazette number 174. Evidence indicates that many nursing institutions across the country are not yet accredited to offer this program. Mrs. van der Berg conducted a mixed method graduate tracer study to understand whether the legacy Bachelor of Nursing program was relevant to the graduate's world of work and to identify improvements for consideration in the new program. Conjoint analysis was used as an alternative method for developing an advisory framework in the final phase of the study. This study is topical and provides unique contributions to nursing education institutions nationally as they continue to develop nursing programs that are aligned to the higher education qualifications sub-framework.
Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Lindy van der Berg.
Chancellor, the candidate Salma Abubekar Abbas Ali will now be introduced to you, and a citation will be read by Supervisor Prof. Manogri Chetty.
It's an honor and a pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Salma Ali. Her PhD was entitled The Use of Immunophenotypic Biomarkers and qPCR as Diagnostic and Prognostic Indicators in diffuse large B-cell lymphomas in Sudan. Over the last few years, the incidence of diffuse large B-cell lymphomas has increased, especially in developing countries like Sudan. There were minimal scientific investigations in terms of this lymphoma, so this necessitated the need for further research since the current diagnostic methods failed to reflect the biological behavior of the tumor or accurately predict prognosis. The aim of this project was to investigate the diagnostic and prognostic prediction potentials of MEK and the BCL2 oncogenes in diffuse large B-cell lymphomas. Various statistical analyses identified parameters with prognostic values and disease-specific 5-year survival rates. In addition, a tumor registry software was also developed which enabled the capture of relevant clinical data. To conclude, the simultaneous detection of the high co-expression of MYC and BCL2 acts as an independent predictor of an inferior prognostic outcome, which would direct and ultimately improve patient management. Congratulations, Salma.
Chancellor, I kindly request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Salma Abubekar Abbas Ali. Chancellor, the candidate Cynthia Yara Sheila Nasir will now be introduced to you, a supervisor, Dr. Priscilla Brijal, will read the citation.
It is an honor to introduce Cynthia Yara Sheila Noshia. Cynthia's title of her thesis is Determinants Influencing Oral Health of Adults in the Seychelles. National oral health policies, strategic plans, and representation of oral health in public policies are important to guide promotion and integrated disease prevention, an approach lacking in the Seychelles. This study examines the determinants that contribute to poor oral health in Seychelles adults through an exploration of health systems organization, social, cultural, economic, and environmental elements. The results reveal that provision of care is symptoms-orientated and fragmented, and that numerous disparities operating at national, population, and person level engender susceptibility to oral diseases. This study makes contribution by proposing a context-specific theoretical framework for oral health that will inform policy, practice, and entry points for strategies in Seychelles. Congratulations.
Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Cynthia Yara Sheila Noshia. Well done.
Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Master of Arts, Sports, Recreation and Exercise Science on the following candidate. Almeen Kluter, cum laude. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Master of Arts in Psychology on the following candidates. Grant Sabotka, Seneca Lowe, Pascal Richardson, Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Master of Arts in Child and Family Studies on the following candidates. Can I see your cards? Shamila Adams, Charlene Goliath, Lumka Mahidi-Hidi, Lisa Peterson, Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Master of Nursing on the following candidates. Nompumelelo Denizulu, Eric Ngu, Memory Gama. Bronwyn Rafferty. Boitumelo Sibila. Chancellor. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Master of Philosophy in Sport for Development on the following candidates. Muhammad Desai. Maria Mochichela. Lungile Nsibande. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Master of Psychology on the following candidates. Cleopatra Sipika. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Master of Public Health on the following candidates. Sibongile Mazizela. Florence Matope. Desmond Munemo. Earl Prinsloo. Thomas Shapumba. Takalani Shikovhi. Maxine van Reenen. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Master of Public Health Nutrition on the following candidates. Shivayu Molubisanu. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Master of Science in Physiotherapy on the following candidate. Ilse Engel-Gilbert. Jacqueline Hendricks. Amy Isaacs, who will be invested by her sister, Dr. Isaacs from the Department of Psychology. Mofaweli Kuta. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Master of Social Work on the following candidates. Jody Adams. Vuyukazi Makaleni. Sandra Sugoni. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Bachelor of Arts Honours, Sports, Recreation and Exercise Science on the following candidates. Jeffrey Buerta. Jamila Khan. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Bachelor of Arts Honours in Biokinetics on the following candidates. Charissa Page. Carissa Page. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Bachelor of Arts Honours in Psychology on the following candidates. Teresa Sambolis, cum laude. Nicole Thomas, cum laude. Amy Jean Fulyun, cum laude. Cohen Adams. Michaela Klaassen. Rosalia Cranfield. Megan Damon. Margarita Damons. Wayne Dumpis. Shuaib Davids. Sadika Fridi. Kaylee Gardiner. Olisa Kwadisu. Mubina Joseph. Khotsu Hosana. Michaela Kitenzami. Nitabizing Lihaota. Anele Mahanyana. Koketsu Mababolo. Maria Masilela. Mbali Mavundla. Cameron McIntyre. Present Nkuna. Ntombika Yise Nonjiku. Caitlin October. Komamelu Phillips. Dinky Ramabulana. Shanae Smith. Kashifa Stoffberg. Frederick Williams. Michaela Wilson. Chancellor, I request you to award the Postgraduate Diploma Sport for Development on the following candidates. Wilberforce Zighali. Chancellor, I request you to confer the postgraduate diploma in public health on the following candidates. Tulisa Dayanti. Jessica Erasmus. Adori Goliath. Temelichle Koala. Pumzile Mngomezulu. Tamsin Rickers. Peshay Oranje. Rogerio Pili. Mashudu Mzinhelele. Linda Nzabedzi. Natalie van Staden. Candice Voss. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree, the postgraduate diploma in child and family studies on the following candidate. Taryn Davids. Avuili Makwelwa. Ayabulela Plaiki. Nukulinda Sitsoli Fuchani. Henrietta Weber. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Bachelor of Arts, Sport, Recreation and Exercise Science on the following candidates. Varisha Singh, cum laude. Ryan van Wyk, cum laude. Joel Adams. Suhaib Ajmuddin. Joshua Albertine. Suhail Ali. Mikairen Basson. Courtley Bear. Liam Calvert. Miriam Chalklin. Ezra Kluti. Lyle Kutsia. Andune Davids. Angel Erasmus. Megan Erentsen. Monique Villar. Tarif Fransch. Eugene Geland. Mishka Goliath. Sonokolo Heleba. Gina Hendricks. Daniel Haynes. Zoe Holly. Luqman Judar. Sibuhuhle Madide. Ayabonga Mehlumakakulu. Mawanda Mgoboza. Asimachle Mokwelu. Katlechlu Moshe. Jaquin Moses. Mbali Intele Ndlovu. Shane Alderson. Darwin Paramore. Kathislu Pala. Kyle Pluk. Brittany Price. Gabriella Robertson. Lauren Rothman. Siamatanda Zangoni. Muchalu Shai. Samantha Sinde. Ryan Steer. Sergio Titus. Aidan Topley. Amara Treguning. Michael van Wyk. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Bachelor of Complementary Medicine in Phytotherapy on the following candidates. Praline Hubbard, summa cum laude. Koliswa Bana. Spiwe Makawe. Makwe. Afikele Mazaka. Nikita Sassman. Inga Njavani. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Bachelor of Complementary Medicine in Naturopathy on the following candidates. Tia Julius, cum laude. Shivasti Pedro, cum laude. Jane Sneyman, cum laude. Nopumulelu Mashele. Machozi Sangwa. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Bachelor of Complementary Medicine in Chinese Medicine and Acupuncture on the following candidate: Napla Huweni, Lelache Majapelo, Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Bachelor of Nursing on the following candidates: Claudette Anunchu Summa, cum laude. Tahira Abdullah. Simone Box. Utandile Kakuma. Nakisha Kutsi. Kuyilandi Njomeni. Grace Eteta. Viwe Fechani. Akila Groenewald. Nobuhle Hadebe. Amber Jean. Oluwetu Gia. Lee Korki. Zinazu Madam. Mududuzi Nicholas Modonsela. Nilasika Mahada. Abinati Infanta. Jabelo Molefe. Zenande Kakaki. Aki. Nelisa Niau. Onwamba Bungoma. Nandiswa Rode. Chimanande Rueche. Islin Sauls. Fritmaiti Shingange. Juliet Sitole. Leletus Kosana. Levon Snyder. Amber Solomons. Sibusisi Tonjeni. Ngozi Hude. Nabila Veroy. Laureen Willemse. Onikwa Zamela. Aviwe Zibaya. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Bachelor of Science, Sport and Exercise Science on the following candidates. Imran Adams. Memory Banda. Naeem Davids. Nicole De Brains. Dandre Degenaar. Jaco Esterhuizen. Sarah Grebe. Jared Groenewald. Wandile Gugwana. Chad Jacobs. Robin Jansen. Ryan Johnston. Tamina Karijike. Joshua van der Skink Kiwuwa. Anisha Koopman. Didiska Kwinika. Aiden Lewis. Joshua Lategan. Jesse Luchenstein. Kanita Mott. Ganisa Makuala. Chad Martin. Adrian Martins. Faiz Mia. Sifeklechle Mugabela. Mpo Muduha. Cody Niverout. Jamie Ross. Nicole Samuels. Alex Stiles. Zidane Williams. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Bachelor of Science in Complementary Health Sciences on the following candidates. Benedict Denewade. Feliswa Korana. Keletsu Kelosiwang. Sanelisa Kochlani. Zona Mabutu. Zinazu Humbobu. Nandi Ntsiweni. Lejo Honolo Olaine. Nuha Solomons. Sunay Solomons. Sarah Sonde. Kyle Valentine. Kanisile Zaka. Sizonke Zantsi. Tabasile Lufuta. Muniwa Mahadani. Munewa Magadani. Sisifu Maka Mfaka. Sinovuyu Mkula. Kelsey Muller. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Bachelor of Science in Physiotherapy on the following candidates. Nikita Ward. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Bachelor of Science in Dietetics on the following candidate, Kennedy Marembu. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Bachelor of Social Work on the following candidates, Helene Lucretia Brisis. Nokuluhowa Ndabe. Zukanye Ndugwana.
Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Master of Dental Surgery on the following candidates. Well done. Jennifer Julian, sorry. Are you saying that? Okay. Neo Eric Sean Nechelindi. Well done. Kim Pedro Beach. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Master of Science on the following candidates. Teshin Gowden, cum laude. Vidat Klein, cum laude. Lizanne Diane John Scholes Evans. What's her name? Huda Abukeba. What's her name? May Ahmed. Savannah Inderman. Okay. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Bachelor of Oral Health on the following candidates. Your name? Brittany September. Okay. What's your name? Denaldi. Chancellor, I request you to award the postgraduate diploma in implantology on the following candidates. Tenel Diaga, cum laude. What's your name? Bridget Toteng, cum laude. How you say your name? Kanisa Baloy. Megan Seister. Lizette Grundelang. How you say your name? Oh. Mohammed Kapri. Adnal Koch. How you say your name? Yolisa Magula. How you say your name? Mashal Matloka. Philip Nakwane. Okay.
It's the diploma. You need to say she will be invested by her mother.
Okay. You will be invested by her mother. Okay. Chancellor, I request you to award the following postgraduate diploma in dentistry on Yashna Brijlal, who will be invested by her mother, Dr. Priscilla Brijlal. And she's got a cum laude. Special thanks to you. Nashita Basadine. Taskin Chauhan. What's your name? Shiraz Ismail Duma. What's your name? Nahima Peters. What's your name? How do you say? Yonela Zenchle Putuma. Tasneem Sali. And the last man for the day is Temba Tsotso. Thank you, Chancellor.
The Dean of Dentistry and the Dean of Community and Health Sciences did very well today. They were real soldata. So please join me in thanking them for a job well done. The Dean of Dentistry, Prof. Yengapal, joined the university in September last year, am I correct? September. And I've had many virtual meetings with him in the meeting, but this is the first time I'm seeing him face to face. Welcome to UWC graduations, Prof. Yengapal. CHS students, Community and Health Sciences students, I realized this morning what a demanding employer UWC is. Do you know it's your dean's birthday? Happy birthday. We worked her so hard on her birthday. And Prof. Rhoda, happy birthday, and may the second half of your birthday be much more pleasant. We appreciate your leadership. Thank you.
Just before I dissolve this congregation, you heard in the Vice Chancellor's message a round of appreciations to various people. And as the Vice Chancellor said, it's been almost 2 years since we had an in-person graduation. And Vice Chancellor, I must confess that I missed the students coming here, not knowing what to do with this fellow here, saying, hello, sir, hi there, hello, prof, or hello, reverend. But let's give the staff, both the academic staff, the support staff, the executive, applause really for holding this ship during a very difficult time. So let's give them And together, let's give those that have graduated today, whether in person or virtually or in absentia, a round of applause, please. And then finally, those that have graduated, I want you to stand and with your certificate, point to the person who is significant in your life and just wave and say thank you. This congregation of the University of the Western Cape is now dissolved. Lentlangano ye University yeNtshona Koloni ngoku ifikelele esiphelweni. Hierdie vergadering van die Universiteit van Wes-Kaapland word nou verdag.
wish, and I wish, and I wish, and I wish, and I